Appreciate y'all boys tuning into another YouTube video. Joshua Van has the ability, has the chance to do something legendary, to do something great. He could go out there and become, I believe, the second youngest champion in UFC history because John Jones did it at 23 years old and some a little extra months behind it, but Joshua Van is a little older than he would be at that time. So I believe he will be the second youngest champion in UFC history if he is able to defeat Alexandre Pantoja. But we got to talk about how he could defeat Pantoja, keys to victory to defeating Pantoja, and what's next for him if he does defeat Pantoja. But starting off with the matchup in itself, Pantoja is a relentless grappler. Pantoja's also getting older. He's like 35, 36. And but he look like he's getting better though. Like I don't want to just say, oh, A's gonna play into a big factor because he's looking great. Like the dude is out there outstriking Calcar France, making him look silly on the feet, taking him down at will, and submitting him all within 3 rounds, looking dominant. He's going out there fighting prospect from a different organization that not a lot of people know much about. Well, UFC fans know much about. Who's a knockout artist, goes out there, knocks him down, gets him out of there in 2 rounds. Then, can't forget he beat Moreno. He beat Royval. Like he beat he's done a lot as champion at that flyweight division. But he hasn't fought anybody like Van. And when I said like Van, I'm talking about Van has good kicks, but he doesn't throw a lot of kicks. He's really boxing heavy in that boxing stance. Moreno is another similar style to Van, but even then, I believe Moreno is really, you can see the differences between him and Van. Van doesn't really enforce grappling at all. Moreno will mix in some grappling and some takedowns. I believe Moreno is faster on the feet, but Joshua Van has a little bit more pop than Moreno. But I believe Joshua Van, him being like short, well, they all short, but I'm talking about like he's 5'5". I think Moreno's like 5'7". Like him being shorter in stature around similar to Pantoja, I honestly believe, bro, that if he's able to just keep this fight, not really in the pocket, because I believe Pantoja, he is dangerous, and I believe he will be susceptible to takedowns if he's just trying to keep this fight in the pocket. But the thing is, he has to wear on Pantoja late. Like he has to have that cardio where he can go 5 rounds at a good pace, because if he doesn't, Pantoja's not going to get tired. He's going to keep going. And if Van is able to bank some earlier rounds, but not able to like bank any late ones, it's a chance he either gasses out and get finished, or he's just not able to do enough and loses a decision. I don't know how Van's fight IQ will look in a 5-round championship fight, but his fight against Royval, bro, I'm gonna be real, that was a great fight, amazing fight. Excuse me, that was an amazing fight. And he showed, like, he had a lot of questions surrounding him. We knew his boxing was good, but it was like, is he ready for Brandon Royval on short notice? Is he ready? He was ready, bro. He was ready. Say what you want about it. All it takes is one night. Any man can win on every good night. Of course, that's the game we play. That's the game we love. So I'm not finna. I don't want to hear about Royval like, oh, it was just off. No, Royval didn't look bad. It was 1-1. It was 1-1. And Van stole the 3rd round. He looked great in that fight. And Pantoja, Van face off after that. After Pantoja retains. I'm gonna be real, bro. This has the chance to be one of the greatest flyweight fights of all time for sure. It definitely does. I feel those type of vibes around it because Van, he's gonna go for it. Pantoja, we know he's relentless. He's gonna go for it. It's just about, is Van gonna be able to stop the takedowns? Like, is he? Is he gonna be able to get back up? Is Van gonna be able to know that he's gonna be taken down and just accept it and say, okay, let's grapple. I'm gonna get back to my feet. I'm not gonna just lay here. I'm not gonna let him, advance and dictate where the fight goes. How the fight goes when it hits the ground, because it's going to hit the ground for sure. I don't think Joshua Van is going to go out there and not get taken down. It's not a Ray Cerulia top fight. This is Alexandre Pantoja we're talking about, the Cannibal, the reigning flyweight champion. And we look at Joshua Van's recent fights. Like, this is actually crazy how in 2024 he got KO'd by Charles Johnson. Then he rallied off all these wins, and now he's fighting for the title. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That was just a little over a year ago, bro. But Royval, this is I will grade this win as an A. I think this is an A or an A- win. I won't say A+ because I don't think Royval is I don't think he'll ever capture gold or would have captured gold. I just don't think he would have had what it takes to get the gold. But he did have what it takes to fight for the belt. And I think he could have fought for the belt again if he would have beat Joshua Van. So I would say that's like an A or A-. you know, Bruno Silva's he's Bruno Silva, bro. Like every division has a Bruno Silva. Like he's a puncher, boxer, brawler type guy, but he doesn't have much skill. But he could hurt you if he lands clean. I would give this like a B minus. Like I say like a C plus. I say like a C plus because he isn't that good. But you have to mind your P's and Q's because he can't hurt you on the feet. And Van made him look easy and TKO'd him in 3 rounds. Great performance by Van. I would say this a B minus. Just because he got him out of there. Good. I would say B minus. Ray Saruya. I'm gonna be real, bro. This is like a D. Like it's like a D plus. I would give it as a D plus because Van did what he had to do. But it's just Ray Saruya isn't that great. And he's like, it's not that great. And yeah, I would say this like a D. I say it's a D. Cody Durden. Like, come on, dude. Like, who does that to Cody Durden? Now, that fight was actually competitive, bro. It was actually competitive, but Van did win the fight. I would give this fight because Cody Durden always like he's up and down. He loses. He gets KO sometimes. I would say Cody Durden. I would give this fight like a C. I would say it's a C. And stopping right here at Edgar Chairez, short notice as well. I gotta give Van a B for this fight because Edgar Chairez can put you out. He hurt Van a couple times in that fight. After he just got KO'd, he turned around to fight in September. Like 2 months later, like I gotta get out of B. But going up, bro, I don't think Van is really a threat to KO Pantoja. I don't think he's gonna KO Pantoja. Like Kakar couldn't even land clean on the man. I'm not saying that Van's not gonna land clean. I'm just saying I don't think Van's gonna KO him. Definitely possible. Anything can happen, bro. Van could even get KO'd. It's the game, bro. It's what's played. It's what they do. You know, and when I say played, I know it's not a game. I'm just saying it's what they do, bro. But Van has to go out there. He has to be in his face. He has to have good takedown defense, just good enough to keep the fight standing for long periods of time. Like his best chance of winning this fight is on the feet for sure, because he's a striker, he's a good boxer, and I believe he's proven that he has top 3 boxing in the division, bro. I believe he's proved it. I really believe it. You know, I believe it. Like he went out there and did what he did to Royval, and now 55 rounds maybe have been different, but it wasn't. It wasn't. So I think he cemented himself as top 3 boxer in that division. But how's his takedown defense look? Like, how is he going to fare against somebody who's going to shoot a lot of takedowns? How is he going to fare against somebody who's legit on the ground? If you make a mistake, he's going to submit you. It's a lot of questions, but I think Van has. I think he has the answers, bro. I think he could do it. I truly believe Joshua Van could do it, but it's not going to be easy. I don't know if I'm going to pick Joshua Van to win this fight, bro. But if he does go out there and win this fight, we having some conversation, because then he's like the 2nd youngest champion in UFC history. Did it at flyweight, beating a reigning champion who has 4 title defenses, has a chance to go on a long reign. And imagine him versus Tatsuro Taira. Like, dude, come on, they both young. They could end up fighting multiple times. Like, it's so much stuff that could happen if Joshua Van beats Pantoja. If he loses, it's different, because now it's like he's still number 1 though. And I believe if he loses, by that time Moreno probably would have got a fight in, maybe even won. But if Moreno and Taira fight, I would say Moreno Taira loser if Joshua Van loses. But if he wins, I would say winner. If Pantoja doesn't get a rematch, I don't think he's going to get a rematch. You know how the UFC is about flyweight. They want stars down there, even though Pantoja's really gained a lot of respect. But if Moreno gets another win, best believe Moreno is fighting for the belt next. But I appreciate y'all boys tuning into another YouTube video. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts down in the comments on who y'all want to see me talk about next. We finna review some resumes coming shortly, coming soon to y'all. I appreciate y'all boys, man. I love y'all. And as always, I'm going to see y'all on the next one.